furnace. Not an oil, a coal furnace.
Uh-huh.
And we used to get 2 tons of coal through the cellar window
Wow.
I don't know how often, but, and my mother did a lot of the shoveling.
Really?
So Dad was old enough to shovel.
Until the kids were older.
Wow.
Because then they had the ash to take out.
Jeez, that's a lot of maintenance.
So I don't know who did that. But also she did wallpapering, painting.
Wow.
And that's how Frank got into the hardware business.
No. But she'd walk down to the 6-family house and do cleanup or repair.
Wow. So they kept the 6-family house and rented it out?
Yes.
Oh.
And I don't remember what year they sold it, or she sold it,
Mm-hmm.
because he was gone.
Wow.
But they didn't get much money for it anyway.
Gotcha.
And that whole area had since been demolished and built healthcare people's homes.
Oh, right.
Because they're near a lot of hospitals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
But we would trudge down with her with pails and whatever we need.
Wow, that's a lot.
It wasn't that far a walk, but
Yeah. So
she
you were
was always busy.
Yeah. Wow. So you were the maintenance people there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of work. How did you meet Patsy? Did she live in the same neighborhood as you?
I'm sorry?
Patsy, how did you meet her?
Well, I don't know if I can tell you. Yeah. We went to the same school, but she was a couple of years behind me.
I thought she went to a girls' Catholic school.
Pardon me?
I thought she went to a girls' Catholic school. That was just for up till 8th grade?
Just up to the 8th grade, it was mixed. Then it was girls.
Then it was girl? Oh, so you met her before she was out of 8th grade?
Yeah.
How old was she when you met her? Well, it's 12? We're talking Ruby's age?
Well, she was in a teen age anyways.
High school was mixed, boys and girls, or the 1 through 8 was mixed?
1 through 8 was mixed. I think
Boys
I
and
said
girls.
that, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
weren't
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah.
I was the
So
one supposed to be taking notes over here. I'm drawing.
you had your eye on her for a while.
Oh, it evolved. It wasn't a planned situation.
Yeah.
We used to meet inside the theater.
Oh, really?
Inside the theater.
Uh-huh.
And in those days, they had dish night.
Uh-huh.
They would give out dishes.
All right. Okay.
Evidently, I don't know.
Product,
Through the movie, sometimes you'd
yeah.
hear a dish fall and stuff.
Oh, really?
Crash.
Yeah. So parents let their kids go because they wanted the kids to come home with the dishes.
I have no idea the motivation, and don't ask me to.
Oh, so you would bump into her at the movies.
Well, we hung around the same town.
Ah, yeah.
We were not that far from the school when we hung around, which was Hyde Square, where there was a bowling alley and a theater.
that's the bowling alley you worked at?
Yeah,
You had to stand up the pins by hand.
set pins.
Really?
You have to sit in the back and wait for them to finish bowling.
Yeah, and then run out and
The
hope.
pins would fly. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
No automatic setting like now.
Could you bowl for free there?
No.
Oh,
If you wanted to bowl, you had to pay for it.
Yeah. It was
Because they had
good.
to pay labor. It wasn't like they could just turn the thing on.
Yeah.
Right.
So did you bowl though? Did you learn to bowl?
Oh, I did bowl at it, but not very well.
Yeah.
Played pool. They had a pool table.
Oh, okay. Did Patsy bowl or play pool or anything?
Occasionally, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You play pool for money?
No, I was never that good. And the guy that owned it was an old Italian guy, and he married a Southern girl, and she took control of the whole thing, and she was in charge of everything that was going on. So she was the boss.
Mm-hmm. So cute,
And
Patsy.
it was underneath the square.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
The stores were on top, and
Uh-huh.
Did they have a subway entrance down there?
there wasn't a subway near there.
Streetcars.
Streetcar on Huntington Avenue.
Like my grandfather. So my memory of going into Jamaica Plain after we moved from New Hampshire was my grandfather driving a streetcar. And he had to change the thing
Oh, yeah.
on the bell for the coins. And then when I got a paper at 10, he gave me one that had a dent in it that I used for my newspaper stuff I got from
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And
Well,
it's
my
had-
two brothers worked for the
Streetcar.
T, whatever
yeah,
you call it.
yeah.
My father and his brother worked there. His brother's two sons worked there. So
Wow.
we had a big connection.
And you know,
Yeah.
when his father worked there, there's that big picture at the house of him and the rest of the crew, and there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
portrait of him, just like cameo portraits, but it's Teamsters. That's what the T stood for.
Oh.
It was originally horse-drawn back in the 19th century,
oh.
and then
Yeah.
the Teamsters turned into the streetcars.
Right, 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 right. But you didn't get into that trade.
No. I was too dumb.
Yeah.
There was a test. There was a
Yeah.
quiz.
So when you were in junior high and high school, what did you think you would do? What did you
Well,
what did you want to
take an illustration course. He did do a musical in high school too.
Oh yeah. So you thought you'd go into the arts?
My wife has been replaced.
Just a little prompting. Carry on amongst yourselves.
But anyway, the church I got married from was across the street from where we used to live, and huge church. In fact, you'll see it in this here. But it's in total disrepair now. They were talking about making some kind of use of it, and they've done nothing.
Gee. So
So
what's
it's just-
the name of it?
That's the Sacrament Church in Jamaica Plain. But it's huge. We used to have a Rose Festival every June in the schoolyard, churchyard, and they'd auction off a car and all that.
Wow.
Not sell tickets for a car.
Yeah, yeah.
They had games and stuff to eat.
Oh wow.
A lot
So
of fun.
was Patsy your steady girl all the way from junior high into high school?
No.
Oh.
This didn't happen until
Oh, yeah.
high school.
Oh.
And she was almost finished high school.
But he knew her
I
since
was
she
very
was.
slow.
He knew her when she was 12.
Her brother was in my room here in school, Tommy.
And she said Tommy taught her how to jitterbug. Did you learn jitterbug too?
No, I was afraid of dancing.
But he was the DJ.
I had a lot of records,
Oh yeah.
and we had house parties, and I'd bring all my records.
Popular for that reason. If not for
Otherwise, they wouldn't invite me.
that. Right. You wouldn't dance.
As you have to tell it as it is, Dave.
If you would have danced, you could have got more invites.
Yeah. Well, for a while there, it was the drafting was going wrong, and I was rejected for. I had TB early.
Oh right, right.
And
He was rejected because his mother wrote the note.
what was that last one?
You were rejected because your mother wrote the note.
Well, she had the doctor write the note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
It's a good thing. He didn't get shot in the war.
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Yeah. So what did you do during the war?
What did I do during the war?
Yeah.
Korean War, we're talking.
Oh.
Yeah.
He graduated in 49.
Mm,
I
all
had
right.
two brothers in the war
Uh huh.
and several cousins. and none of them actually got killed in the war, but one
That's
of the
good.
cousins, after the war, he had been in the Navy, and he was taking a stroll with his wife around Jamaica Plain, and somebody stole a purse from a woman and knocked her down. He ran after him. Sudden heart attack.
Oh no. Gee.
But Patsy's cousin did get killed in the Korean War. He was very close to Tommy.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty.
he wasn't a Carboni?
No. I think it was a McCarthy. Tom worked for the Union most of his life. And then he retired. He moved down to Naples, Florida.
Alright.
That's the word I almost said, yeah.
Gotta be quick.
I didn't think it was a race. Yeah, we went down to visit him one time. He had a nice little place right on the ocean, right on the bay. And he had a potty boat at one time, and we'd take the people out, and they were go out to the
So you got this little edge here. And so you do that, especially when they're a little cold. They're like, "Hello," and then you just get in. That's it, man.
So the coldness,
Already over.
the coldness helps, makes it easier.
Yeah, they're like a little groggy.
Right. There's two.
Rona was coming this morning.
that they were living at Jamaica Plain.
So how did you pick the kids' names? Your kids' names?
Randomly.
Well, Jerry was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, too easy. I still pay him for it.
Janet was probably the name of some movie actress at the time. I don't know.
She was born in January.
Janet of January. There you go. See, we're working this through. Marie, his mother was named Mary. What's your mother's full name? Was actually Mary Ann.
Mary Ann, yeah.
Your mother's name was Mary Ann. Right. So Marie's kind of a variant on that, right?
And so was Marie Patricia the nun.
Marie Patricia the nun. Which one?
Which one? Which one?
Sister Julia.
She wasn't really Sister Julia. She was Sister Marie Patricia. That was her nun name.
The Sister Julie. She took the Julie. What?
Sister Julie wasn't Sister Julie. She was Sister Marie Patricia.
Oh, that she took that name, right? Because
Exactly.
that's what they did when they become nuns. They
Yeah.
changed their name.
Gotta straighten you out, Dave.
Okay, so Marie's named for Sister Julie.
Yeah.
The nun.
Yeah.
Because the second daughter always became a nun. No. The first daughter.
Okay. And let's
Anyway, she went in the nunnery a couple of years before we get married. And she wasn't able to go to our wedding.
Oh.
She was in...
They don't let them in churches.
Huh?
They didn't let them go to churches.
They didn't go anyway. They couldn't leave.
Anyway.
Oh, gee.
They only lived in clusters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gee.
Married to God.
Wow.
Seems I heard that one before.
Yeah.
And then David, who's David named for?
Davy Crockett.
No, I think Pat picked it out. Must have been bad. I didn't. And then we had Beth after her godmother, Elizabeth. And then Sheila was a random one.
Very Irish sounding though, Sheila.
The differ, you see.
Yeah.
I told my mother this joke, but I didn't tell her it was a joke. That this Irish lad was leaving Ireland, and he was walking around the terminal or whatever it was, and this woman come up to him and says, "Are you leaving Ireland?" He says, "Yes, I am." He says, "Well, look up my son. He's right when you get off the boat. He's right there. He's got a little office." And he says, "I will." So he goes to America, and he has to go to the boys' room. And he had to wait for somebody to come out. When somebody come out, he says, "Are you done?" He says, "Yes, I am." "Why don't you write your mother an island?" My mother said, "What? What are you talking about?"
I have heard that joke, probably from you.
Yeah, she used to holler at me and say, "You sound like you just got off the boat."
And he would say, "I'm doing my impression of you." And she says, "I don't have a bro."
Yeah. But she enjoyed a good laugh.
You know, we want to hear about, though, is her job and how she got to be such a good baker of breads and pies and stuff.
She got what?
How your mother got to be such a good baker of breads and pies and things.
Well, she worked for her uncle when she came over, and he needs someone to make bread
For
because
the
his
workers.
staff was boarded at his house or whatever it is.
And these
called.
were tea drivers too? Who were these?
What?
Who was the staff? What were they doing?
They had a contract with the city of Boston to collect rubbish.
Oh, okay.
So they got out early in the morning,
Uh-huh.
but they slept there and they got fed there.
Uh-huh.
So she made 9 loaves of bread a day.
You get
Right.
good at it if you're doing that. 9
So
loaves
when
a
she
day.
got married, she made 9 loaves of bread a week.
Oh, gee.
With all those 11 kids and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
always busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pies, apple pie.
She took me one time on the bus to Providence to visit a cousin. I don't remember the name of them or anything. We spent the day down there.
Uh-huh.
And she had this cousin we always called Aunt Winnie. And I had a picture of it. I have no idea how the connection is to her, even after Frank had done all that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is. But she was a funny little lady.
Aunt Winnie.
Aunt Winnie,
W-I-N-N-I-E.
if you say so.
One of
I
my
won't dispute the extra.
one of my most regular clients is named Winnie, so I can tell her that story about the mysterious aunt.
Someday I'll send you a picture of her.
Was she African American?
Not that I know. I never thought to ask her that question. With her white hair and her very white skin.
Well, you said you weren't sure if she was related, and my client is actually African American.
I thought that's why you asked that. You were trying to make a connection for him, not for me.
Her.
Oh, whatever. But I remember the hood wagon, milk wagons that were delivered horseback
Really?
with rubber wheels in the cart.
Really? Wow.
And the ragman would come along with his wagon with hollering rags, and people would sell their old rags and stuff.
So if you had like
Bring
worn
out
out
your rags.
clothing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's okay.
And then what would he do with them?
I never follow them to find out what to do.
Stitch them into quilts.
Just curious.
But yeah, we had food peddlers and stuff like that.
Wow.
But they're all with wagons.
Uh-huh.
And we had gas lights on the street.
Wow.
And we had a gas, what do they call it? The covering for the light, the glass dome or whatever.
Yeah.
He would come every so often walking through the street with a ladder and a bucket and his
And to clean it.
and take the
Wow.
domes down, replace the what do they call them? The actual lights.
The bulbs or
No,
No,
there
there were
were no
bulbs.
bulbs.
So what was the
This
actual
was
light?
gas
Yeah.
lights.
So what was the actual light then? I don't know, the wick?
No, well, it's similar to a lick, but it was like you'd see in a Coleman lamp. You remember those?
It was kind of like a net,
Well, it looks like a net,
a
but
little
it is.
baby sock.
Yeah. Anyways, he changed those and he washed
Wow.
the domes
Wow.
and
So
went
do you-
along to the next one. And
Yeah.
they had a song out at that time of an old lamplighter long ago.
All right. Right. So do you remember when everything got electrified? When they started changing things out?
No, because it wasn't such a big deal. We were just,
Yeah.
Gradual.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, my mother remembers all that, the
Yeah.
coal deliveries and
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
So it was a nice little street. We always had friends there and everything.
yeah.
One time I got taken home by the police because we were playing baseball in the street.
Uh-huh.
And the next street to us, there was a policeman that reported us.
Well, was it a busy street?
No! We were disobeying the rules.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's all. He just took you home. So what happened when you got home?
Yeah.
Were your parents upset?
I didn't know my father, so I couldn't answer to my parents.
Yeah.
You got to sign your name over your dad.
I didn't do this.
Your witness. No, I signed it on the bottom, but you have to write your name on the side over here. So we know it's not from a photograph, it's from you chatting up. Just write it that way.
Cursive?
Yes.
You'd be surprised how many people can't read cursive.
Right.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Perfect.
See if you can read that.
Look at that. Well, I was taught cursive, and you,
Ah,
my mother
yeah.
had good penmanship
Oh, very nice.
back in the day.
So what was your favorite subject in school? What did you really...
Recess.
Besides recess. Everybody says that.
Lunch.
Oh, okay, well, besides lunch.
I was a terrible student.
Oh, yeah. Just not interested.
Yeah, I got into a fight once in school, but that was just,
You thought about getting into boxing.
I couldn't do exercises or be in
The TV.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and I couldn't be in the military
Oh, right.
thing.
Yeah.
So you'd think that would give him extra time for homework, but no. You just listen to records and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
good. But then you got into later on you got into computers. That seems like that's so...
Yes, when I was working as a laundry delivery salesperson,
Yeah.
I saw an ad of a computer. Well, it wasn't really a computer. It was a mechanical accounting machine.
Uh-huh.
That they said it's the future computer.
Yeah.
So I get into that, and you had to plug wires into certain sections to do functions or
Right.
stuff like that.
It was
Wow.
like being
So I
Switchboard
took,
operator?
I took that course,
Uh-huh.
and then I got a job, and just went off of that. But the
Wow.
guy that hired me in New Hampshire, that got fired,
Yeah.
hired me in Boston,
Uh-huh.
in Girltown, which was a a company that made very nice clothes for teens or
Yeah.
little kids. And it was now down near Boston Globe, across from Kennedy's Memorial. But it's gone now since. And I worked there nights and I ran reports. We had the punch cards
Oh yeah.
and sort them up and run a report on them and stuff
Wow.
like that. And every so often they would have a sale. So I would call Patsy and Queenie
Yeah.
and they'd come in the night before and
oh.
go through
Oh, the night before.
and look through and see what they wanted. And I would put them aside. And they would take it out of my pay. And I'd take it out. So we had some very fancy clothes for the kids for a while.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
Really nice clothes.
That's great. And so that was the job before you moved?
Then I heard of a job in Gillette. So I quit that job and
Yeah.
went to Gillette, doing basically the same job,
Yeah.
but they never told me that they were phasing it out.
Oh, yeah.
So when they phased it out, they didn't have another job for me.
Right. Oh, okay.
So that's when my guy from New Hampshire called and
Yeah,
said, I got
yeah.
a job for you up here.
Wow. And so it all worked out.
And I captured all the kids together and tied the rope around each one so they wouldn't escape.
You threw them in the back of the car and drove up to New York.
Drag their feet and all that.
All right, speaking of being thrown in the back of the car, we're gonna go to this fair. Sure you don't want to see any piglet races?
Do you want to come? They're supposed to be,
grow up to
not sure
18
what
feet.
they have there.
Although
They're
most
supposed to-
drawn carts like your early days.
No, I think I'd be too long standing. I don't do that.
What do you do with all these leaves that you
All right, I wonder, well, yeah, we don't know the setup, so.
Huh?
We don't know the setup. I mean, it could be that you can just drive in
Yeah.
and there's places to sit.
No, I'd just have
You're gonna feed them all up.
bypass.
You got a huge pile. I would think you would want to saute them and have a little bit for yourself and maybe for a friend.
Oh, sounds
You want to use the bed?
delicious. Now,
I'm going to sit right here.
Sure you don't want to get in?
I do want to get in, but it's not a